another draft of Throne of Eldraine. I'm doing the single round matches. Um, I see a couple good cards here. I see Fae of Wishes, which can be powerful. Um, Getting good situational cards. I see Bell the Brawl, which is very powerful in the last deck I made. Red Cap Melee, and then there's Bacon to a Pie and Scorching Dragonfire. So 2 good removal spells, 3 good removal spells really with Red Cap Melee, a good aggressive creature, and a somewhat powerful finisher. I'm going to take Bacon to a Pie. I think this is the best card in the pack, to be honest. Ironcrag Feet is not the best card in the pack. That is a card, certainly. I see Overwhelmed Apprentice turn into a pumpkin, Vantress Paladin. I feel like turn into a pumpkin is interaction, which is good. Overwhelmed Apprentice is a piece of a mill deck, which I could get critical mass for, but requires more Murphic Secret Keepers and Overwhelmed Apprentices, so I'm going to take turn into a pumpkin. Protects me, and if I do slide into that mill game plan, I have access to it regardless. Cards here, Witch's Oven. Moonlit Scavenger, So Tiny. So Tiny's interaction, and it's cheap. I'm going with So Tiny. Alright, now I've got another So Tiny, Revenge of Ravens, Quarter Monitor Arcanist. I'm going to take Revenge of Ravens. I'm just going to keep taking these defensive blue and black cards. I got a lot of expensive cards, though, which is kind of getting a little awkward. I'm going to take this Reaper of Night, however. It fits with what I'm doing. A lot of expensive cards. Alright, I'm tempted to take this Inquisitive Puppet simply because it's cheap and blocks. Like, I can take Mistford River Turtle or something like that. Steel Gaze Griffin. But none of these really follow my plan. At least this blocks, which is sort of along the line of the blue-black deck. Sorcerer's Broom. And there's Mystic Sanctuary, which is quite powerful. I'm going to take this Mystic Sanctuary. Buying back removal spells is quite powerful. Golden Egg, something I just kind of want. Drawing cards, fixing mana. Here, I'm looking at supposed Mantle of Tides. I'm not really playing any of these. Alright, I'll take the Overwhelmed Apprentice here. I'll take a Jousting Dummy. It trades better than the Inquisitive. Take another So Tiny here. That's really good. This doesn't really matter. Sideboard card. And a sideboard card. Though I could theoretically put the profit of the pack. Alright. In this pack, I see a Opt, a Runaway Together, and a Moonlit Scavenger. I'm kind of a little low on creatures, but I have a lot of expensive cards. I'm going to take this Runaway Together. I'm looking for like Merfolk Secret Keepers at this point. Take another turn into a pumpkin, it looks like. Or Foreboding Fruit. I'll take Foreboding Fruit. Card draw is kind of useful in this kind of deck. Ooh, Covetous Urge. This card is so powerful. I'd like to wield the Foreboding Fruit that didn't say please. Would be nice. Alright, well now I want the didn't say please. I'm going to take this second Foreboding Fruit, but that's all I got room for. There's Opt, Shambling Suit, Giant Skewer, Crashing Drawbridge, Lockthwing Gargoyle. I'm going to take this Opt. I may not play it, but it fixes. I'm going to take this Queen of Ice. It locks things down, throws them out. I think I'm more likely to play the Sword Master. It's a slightly better defensive creature. Ooh, Witching Well. Alright, I want this. This is a powerful, cheap way to interact, and that makes the next Moonlit Scavenger's pick a lot better. And then I will take a Queen of Ice and a Memory Theft. Doesn't really matter. Put this in the sideboard. Put this in the sideboard. And put this in the sideboard. Alright, what do I get? Ooh, Clack Bridge Troll. 5 mana for an 8/8 Trample Haste. As a battlefield, opponent creates 3 goats. Being in combat, they may sack a creature. If they do, tap it, gain 3 life, draw a card. So, this is kind of what I was looking for. I have a bunch of interaction. I could stand for a couple of cheaper removal spells, or Reef Soul or whatever. But I needed something that really punched over the top, and this is kind of what I want. Some sort of unblockable thing would also be pretty good here, to be honest. Like this Tempting Witch is starting to look pretty interesting to me. That or the Turn into a Pumpkin. I think I'm going to take the Tempting Witch. It's just a little bit of reach. I actually incidentally make a fair bit of food. I'm going to take this Reeve Soul. Another cheap way to interact. Alright. Ooh, Sir Conrad the Grim. This is one more piece of reach. I think I'm going to take it. I have a lot of really good cards here. Alright, so this is an interesting pick, actually. So Didn't Say Please is a powerful counterspell, protects my game plan. Or Reeve Soul to interact with creatures. I have a lot of cheap interaction, though. I'm going to take this Didn't Say Please. I will take another So Tiny. I can play as many of these as I get my hands on. Reaper of Night is probably the card I'm going to take, though I don't know if I'll play them both. Runaway Together. I'll take this Malevolent Noble, I suppose. These cards, Forever Young might make it into my deck. Moonlit Scavenger, sure. I have a lot of cuts to make. A lot of these cards are quite good. Alright, so let's take a look here. So I have to cut a fair bit of cards here. Alright, so let's start with the obvious cuts. Inquisitive Puppet, Mantle of Tides. I don't really need this opt. How many creatures does it give me? Okay, 14 creatures. I can cut a few of these creatures. I don't need these 2 creatures. I don't need the Memory Theft. Mr. Turtle's kind of bad. I don't think I need all of the 6 drops, to be honest. The curve's a little dense. Though these function as 4 drops, really. Alright, so I've already cut a few of these bad cards. So now it becomes a question of what's not great. So Forever Young's almost exclusively good in the mirror for me, but otherwise is sort of useless. Whereas something like Runaway Together also gets kind of worse. So I've got a lot of ways to interact here. I've got 3 So Tinies. I've got a Reeve Soul, Didn't Say Please, Bake into a Pie, Turn into a Pumpkin. I'm going to cut... I have, how many creatures? 11. These get worse when I've, fewer creatures. Though rebuying some of these is pretty sweet, especially the Reaper at Nights and the Moonlit Scavengers. I'm going to cut 1 Runaway Together. I'm going to cut 1 Forever Young. Once again, that gets worse with fewer creatures. And then... this is where it gets a little awkward. What do I want to get rid of here? So I've got how many artifacts? 1, 2, 3. I think Moonlit Scavengers gets worse with fewer artifacts. I have a few answers. I think it's good enough, but I think I would be more likely to want Reaper of Night than Moonlit Scavenger. And then this is the interesting piece here. I don't know what's worse here, to be honest. I kind of want to just cut, Overwhelmed Apprentice, because this just doesn't do a whole lot. I'm going to cut this. It's not the best thing I've ever done. This deck, it's really cool. A little low on creatures, 9 creatures. Yeah, but a lot of ways to interact. I'm hoping that gets me there. This is a deck build I'm certainly willing to revisit as the matches go on. If I find that I'm just getting overwhelmed a little bit too much by the amount of creatures opponents are playing, I might start playing a couple of more creatures, more Overwhelmed Apprentice, a couple of those cheap blocking type creatures. But this format's notorious for going slow, so this kind of value-y, control-ish shell should be pretty useful. I'm going to try this. I'm going to see you guys in round 1, see what this looks like.